Marriage doesn't usually fail on the wedding day. It fails in the quiet moments before it ever begins. Moments when the people look at each other and say, "We love each other," but never ask the harder question. Are we actually ready for the life that comes after the wedding? Because love is easy to feel, but marriage is a life you must be prepared to carry. And many people enter it carrying emotions they never healed, faith they never built, and finances they never disciplined. Yet they still say, "Let's build a life together." The truth is, marriage doesn't test how much you love someone. It tests how well you know yourself. Because once the celebration ends, once the wedding photos fade into memories, you're left with something deeper than romance. You're left with two human beings sharing responsibility, two minds, two emotional histories, two spiritual journeys, and one financial future. And suddenly the questions become real, not romantic, real. Questions like, what happens when one of you is angry and the other is silent? What happens when one believes in patience and the other believes in control? What happens when money becomes tight and pressure starts whispering into the relationship? Because pressure has a strange way of revealing things people never showed while dating. It reveals impatience, it reveals pride, it reveals emotional wounds that were hidden behind charm. And a woman may say she is ready for marriage. But readiness is more than the desire for commitment. Marriage is not two people escaping loneliness. It is two people choosing responsibility. Emotional maturity is the first foundation. Because in marriage, you will not always feel understood. You will not always win arguments. And you will not always be right. Emotional maturity means learning how to listen without defending, learning how to apologize without pride, learning how to be patient when your partner is struggling. Because the truth is, many people want a partner who understands them. But few people have trained themselves to understand someone else. Then comes spiritual readiness. And this part is rarely talked about enough. Because marriage is not only emotional, it is spiritual alignment. Two people walking through life under the same values, the same sense of purpose, the same understanding of right and wrong. Without that foundation, small disagreements slowly grow into silent distance. Because when two people are guided by different internal compasses, eventually, they walk in different directions. But there is another truth that quietly shapes marriages: money. Not because money creates love, but because money creates pressure, and pressure exposes character. When finances are unstable, arguments change. Patience becomes shorter. Stress becomes louder, dreams become postponed. And suddenly the relationship is no longer about two people building a life. It becomes two people trying to survive the pressure of reality. That's why financial discipline before marriage matters more than most people realize. Not because wealth guarantees happiness, but because stability protects peace. And peace is one of the most valuable things a marriage can have. Peace during disagreements, peace during financial challenges, peace during moments when life becomes difficult. Without peace, love slowly turns into exhaustion. But here is the truth many people only discover after years. Marriage does not magically fix immaturity, it exposes it. Marriage does not suddenly create discipline. It reveals the lack of it. Marriage does not erase personal wounds. It brings them into the open. And this is why preparation matters. Because when two prepared people enter marriage, something powerful happens. They don't just love each other. They support each other's growth. They respect each other's responsibilities. They protect the peace of their home. And they build something deeper than romance. They build trust. Trust that says, when life becomes heavy, we carry it together. Trust that says, when mistakes happen, we learn instead of destroying each other. Trust that says, this partnership is bigger than our individual pride. But preparation requires honesty. Honesty with yourself. Are you emotionally mature enough to handle conflict without destroying connection? Are you spiritually grounded enough to guide a family with integrity? Are you financially disciplined enough to build stability instead of chaos? Because marriage is not only about who you choose, it's also about who you become. The strongest marriages are rarely built by perfect people. They are built by prepared people. People who understand that love is only the beginning, not the entire foundation, because attraction may start a relationship, but character sustains a marriage. And perhaps the most important truth about marriage is this: you don't marry someone because life will be easy with them. You marry someone because both of you are ready to grow through the difficult seasons together. That is where real partnership begins, so before anyone rushes toward the ideal of forever, there is one quiet question worth asking, not just about the person standing beside you, but about yourself. Are you ready to build a life? Or are you just ready to have a wedding? Because the difference between those two answers often decides the future of a marriage. And the couples who understand this early don't just fall in love. They build a life strong enough to last beyond emotions, beyond pressure, beyond time, because in the end, marriage is not about finding someone perfect, it's about becoming someone prepared, and that preparation quietly decides which relationships survive reality. If this message spoke to you, subscribe for more stories about the silent rules of life, relationships, discipline, and building a future that lasts. Because sometimes the conversations people avoid are the ones that change everything.